Welcome view to our Tales of Terror Childhood Shadows. Shadows of Innocence unveils the eerie journey of youthful encounters with the supernatural. These stories delve into the heart of childhood fears, where innocence meets its darkest trials. Through the whispers of a doll and the reflections of a mirror, we explore the haunting abyss where nightmares and reality blur. The Whispering Doll, a childhood terror begins, sets the stage for a chilling narrative. A seemingly innocent discovery in the attic, a dusty doll, becomes the source of unending night terrors. Its whispers pierce the silence of the night, marking the beginning of a haunting that transcends imagination. A dusty, forgotten doll found in the attic whispers at night, its voice barely a murmur at first. This peculiar occurrence soon becomes an unsettling companion to the silence of the house. The whispers, initially dismissed, grow persistent, weaving a mysterious allure around the doll's true nature. Night after night, the whispers grow louder, impossible to ignore. What started as faint murmurs soon evolve into clear, disturbing messages. The child, now caught in a web of fear, finds sleep elusive. The doll's presence, once merely curious, now feels ominously malevolent. Terrifying visions of the doll's past owners haunt the child's dreams, revealing glimpses of its dark history. These nightmares, vivid and distressing, suggest the doll's involvement in sinister events. The child begins to question the nature of their attic find as the line between dreams and reality blurs. As the child lay in bed each night, a sinister presence began to fill the house, permeating every corner with a chilling unease. Objects that had been in their place for years started to move on their own, as if controlled by an unseen hand, casting shadows that danced in the moonlight. The child, driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, delved into the doll's murky past, uncovering a series of mysterious disappearances linked to its previous owners. Each story was more unsettling than the last, painting a picture of a cursed object with a will of its own, hungry for companionship. In an act of desperation, the child attempted to rid themselves of the doll, throwing it into the trash, only to find it sitting back on the shelf the next day, its grin a bit wider, its whispers a bit louder. Panic set in as the realization dawned that the doll wouldn't be discarded so easily. A final confrontation became inevitable. One night, armed with nothing but a flashlight and a blanket for protection, the child faced the doll. Its whispers turned into screams, and its eyes glowed with a malevolent light. The battle of wills that followed would forever be etched in the child's memory. The curse was finally broken with the dawn's early light, but not without cost. The doll's menacing presence was gone, yet the scars it left behind were deep. The house felt lighter, but the child's heart remained heavy, burdened with memories too terrifying for words. A reminder of the price paid for peace. The doll's curse was finally broken, yet the child's room felt far from safe. Where once laughter and joy filled the air, now only the echo of a sinister giggle lingered. The battle with the doll's spirit was over, but the scars it left behind were deep, invisible to all but the one who endured the terror. Every shadow seemed to whisper. Every silence screamed with the memory of those haunting nights. The victory was bitter, for though the doll's malevolent presence was gone, its essence seemed to have seeped into the very walls of the home. The child wondered if true peace would ever return. Transitioning from the eerie tale of the Whispering Doll, we delve into another chilling story, The Shadow Behind the Mirror. This narrative begins with an innocent gift, an antique mirror that harbored a secret far darker than its aged frame suggested. At first, it was merely a beautiful piece, a reflection of the world it faced. Yet as days passed, the mirror began to reveal its true nature. It wasn't just reflecting. It was watching, waiting, and slowly revealing a world that should have remained hidden. Distorted reflections began to appear in the mirror, hinting at a realm filled with malevolence. The child, curious yet naive, would stand in front of it, mesmerized by the figures that seemed to shift within its depths. These weren't ordinary reflections, but glimpses into a sinister world, a prelude to the nightmare that awaited. With every glance, The mirror seemed to pull the child closer, weaving a web of intrigue and terror. Then came the whispers, soft and insidious, floating out from the mirror. They were pleas for help, intertwined with malevolent chuckles that seemed to mock the child's growing fear. The mirror, once an object of beauty, had become a source of dread. It was no longer a question of what the mirror showed, but what it hid within its silvered glass. The child felt an irresistible pull towards it, a morbid curiosity to uncover its secrets, unaware of the horror that awaited. Shadows began to stretch out from the mirror, creeping into the child's room like dark fingers. These weren't ordinary shadows, but entities, extensions of the mirror's will. One night, a figure stepped out from the glass, a doppelganger of the child, its eyes gleaming with a malevolent light. The real child could only watch in horror as this mirror twin stepped into their life, an omen of the terrifying journey that lay ahead. Upon receiving an antique mirror as a gift, it quickly became apparent that this was no ordinary mirror. It served as a gateway to a realm far darker and more sinister than our own. The reflections within were distorted, not showing the present, but hinting at a malevolent presence lurking just beyond sight. Whispers and pleas for help began to emanate from the mirror, chilling to the bone. These were not echoes of the living, but of souls trapped within its glassy confines. The child, drawn by curiosity and a desire to help, listened intently, unaware of the dangers that lay ahead. Soon, the mirror's influence grew stronger. Shadows stretched out from its frame, creeping into the room as if to claim it for their own. It was as if the barrier between the two worlds was thinning, allowing the darkness to seep through into the child's reality. One day, a figure stepped out from the mirror, a doppelganger of the child, but with eyes that hinted at a lost soul. It began to take over the child's life, seamlessly integrating itself with the unsuspecting world around it. Meanwhile, the real child was pulled into the mirror, trapped in a world of nightmares. This mirror world was a twisted reflection of reality, where fear and despair reigned. It was a labyrinth of distorted memories and lost hopes, populated by spirits trapped for eternity. The child, realizing the gravity of their situation, resolved to find a way back, refusing to become another lost soul within the mirror's depths. In the mirror world, a place where nightmares roamed freely and twisted realities converged, the child found themselves trapped. This realm, a dark reflection of our own, was dominated by shadows and whispers. It was a labyrinth of fear, where every reflection twisted the child's soul a little more. Amongst the despair, the child befriended a spirit, another victim of the mirror's cruel enchantment. This unlikely ally, trapped for years within the glass, shared secrets of the mirror's magic. Together they plotted an escape, their bond formed in the crucible of shared suffering and hope for freedom. The path to freedom was guarded by a dark entity, a twisted reflection of the child themselves. This guardian, embodying the child's deepest fears and insecurities, challenged them to a battle of wits and will. It was a confrontation that tested the child's courage, determination, and understanding of their own inner darkness. Using the mirror's magic against it, the child orchestrated a daring escape. Cleverly manipulating the mirror's illusions and traps, they shattered the boundary between the worlds. The moment the glass fractured, reality and the mirror world collided, creating a breach that allowed the child to slip through back into our world. However, freedom came at a steep price. The mirror's shattered fragments, now scattered, served as a constant reminder of the ordeal. The boundary between the worlds, once firmly in place, now allowed elements of the mirror world to seep into reality, forever altering the child's perception of the world around them. The transition into stories of childhood horror takes us on a journey into the abyss, where the lines between reality and the supernatural blur. These tales are not merely about fear, they're about the innocence lost in the face of inexplicable terror. The characters, once carefree, find their realities irrevocably altered. In Shadows of Innocence, the encounter with the supernatural comes at a steep price. The children, protagonists of our tales, emerge changed, their innocence replaced by a haunting awareness of the world's darker corners. This loss of innocence is a poignant reminder of the cost of facing the unknown. Yet within these stories of fear and loss, there's a powerful undercurrent of resilience. The children, despite the horrors they face, find within themselves the strength to overcome. This resilience is a testament to the human spirit, a beacon of hope in the darkest of tales. The psychological impact of these encounters is profound. Sleepless nights and a deep mistrust of the ordinary are but the surface of a deeper disquiet. The ordinary world becomes a place of shadows, where each object and reflection may hide a lurking terror. However, these stories also explore coping mechanisms. Sharing their tales becomes a form of solace, a way to process and perhaps warn others. It's in this sharing that the characters find strength, turning their scars into symbols of survival. These coping strategies highlight the enduring human capacity to adapt and find light in the darkness. Sleepless nights are a common aftermath for those who've encountered the whispering doll. The mere silence of a room becomes a canvas for the imagination, painting echoes of whispers that once were. This deep mistrust of ordinary objects transforms the familiar into the unfamiliar, making peace a hard-won battle each night. Ordinary objects, once benign, now carry an air of suspicion. The doll's legacy is a testament to how deeply fear can embed itself, turning the mundane into sources of dread. Even as the doll remains sealed away, its whispers seem to breach the barriers of containment, a chilling reminder of the horror faced. Mirrors, gateways to our own reflection, now serve as portals to a past trauma. Each glance brings a flicker of doubt, a question of what reality lies on the other side. The ordeal with the mirror leaves a permanent mark, turning every reflection into a potential gateway to terror. Drawing strength from survival, the experiences with the doll and the mirror become cautionary tales. Sharing these stories becomes a coping mechanism, a way to process the trauma and perhaps warn others. It's in this sharing that a sense of solace is found, a community of survivors who understand the depth of fear. The shattered mirror, now pieced back together, holds a tangible piece of another world. It stands as a legacy of the horror faced, a visual reminder of the thin line between our world and that of nightmares. This legacy serves as both a warning and a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable fear. And as we venture into our third and final tale, we are introduced to the unveiling shadows. Every night, under the pale moonlight, shadows danced on my bedroom walls, whispering secrets from forgotten times. As a child, my world was filled with imagination, yet one horrifying figure stood out, lingering in the corners. It had no name, only a presence that chilled the air, watching me with unseen eyes, feeding on my fear. One evening, it stepped out from the shadows, its form blurry yet terrifyingly distinct, a nightmare come to life. I screamed for my parents, but when they arrived, it vanished, leaving behind a cold silence that echoed my dread. Night after night, it returned, drawing closer, its intentions unclear, but its desire to terrify unmistakable. I eventually learned to confront my fears, facing the shadow with newfound courage, and one night, it disappeared forever. The house stands empty now, a silent witness to the unseen battles fought within its walls against the shadows of the night. Years have passed, but the memory remains, a chilling reminder that some childhood horrors are never truly forgotten. In the end, the story of my childhood horror serves as a testament to the power of overcoming one's deepest fears. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the eerie and the unexplained. As we part ways, let these tales serve as a testament to the power of storytelling in facing our deepest fears. If you have enjoyed these stories, please like and subscribe to our channel to continue to see more of these terror tales. Sleep tight if you can, and remember, you're not alone in the shadows.